And then greeting goes to the coordinating body of Animal Welfare Advocates Association. Our profound greetings also goes to our able advisor of the Animal Welfare Advocate Association of the Gambia. And then we greet you too, to all the advocates who are here present with us. Today is a great day in the annals history of Animal Welfare Advocate Association of the Gambia, as we are here to witness the Congress of 2021, but we are here to witness the Congress of 2022, but the year under review is 2021. It was not an easy year. Things were tough and rough, and then we will be shown what went wrong and what went right for the year under review. So this is why today we summon all advocates. It is your day. Come and listen to the executives that you put in power to steer the day-to-day affairs of your association. Nonetheless, next we move to the statement of the President, who is given 5 minutes to deliver an opening statement. Mr. President, the podium is yours.
Fellow advocates, today is our day. Today is a day that we are going to determine ourselves, our governance, the effectiveness of the association, the dynamicness of the association, the capacity of the association to steer its own affairs is going to be determined today. This 2022 is a different phase. We are going to embark on a series of activities. So I am taxing all of you to be reignited, reactivate yourself, come back on track. We have the resources in our own disposal. The resources is there. The fund is here. Come. I am appealing to all the advocates. Come. The resources is available. We have the funds, and we are going to implement the activities. Sensitization is going to continue in animal welfare, I assure you, as the president of the Animal Welfare Advocate Association. Sensitization is our main task, and we are going to ensure that this activity is followed up to the fullest. So therefore, I implore all my advocates across the country to turn up in the activities of the Animal Welfare Advocate Association, because this is something that is godly. Animal welfare is God worshiping. So therefore, I implore all of you for us to come and join the gospel and spread this gospel to the higher height. I also want to thank the media personnel, which very shortly we are going to be partnering with. Of course, my mentor, I call him always Rasta. He is my lecturer, management. They are going to be our media partner, and this MOU is going to be on black and white very soon. And inshallah, animal welfare will be seen all over the world. Anytime you want animal welfare activity, you can just click, just with the simple of click of a button, you will see all the activities in the social media. So thank you, Rasta Palamishar. Of course, if you look at the quality that he has, he is the management lecturer of the University of Gambia. The great management skill that is in him is what is in me. That's why today animal welfare is going to be in the correct management. Yes. Thank you for putting that in me. So therefore, I want to conclude by saying, thank you for the great effort that all of you here doing, and I implore all of you to continue doing the great work. Long live Animal Welfare Advocate Association. Long live advocate. Thank you so much for your great attention.
We are going to be doing a lot in the arena of the voiceless by the grace of Allah. Dumbia, thank you for your efforts in the animal welfare. Next, we move to a statement by Dr. Olowale Olaniyan at Walik on the topic animal welfare, education, and sustainable development.
Thank you very much. And it's my pleasure to be here to address this very important gathering. And lending to the voice of the person who spoke before me, the person of Mr. Dubuya, the president of Animal Welfare Advocates Association, I want to commend the effort of the advocates. I must acknowledge that it's not an easy task that you have come this far. And from the speech, I know you have a long way to go, and you are ready to take up the task. Though you are few in number this morning, but I know my previous encounter with you, I know you are up to the task, and you are going to deliver and then justify the funding which some people have given to you. So I want to encourage you not to relent in your efforts. Keep pushing, keep doing your best, and just like your theme for this year, that you're going to be the voice for the voiceless. Animals might not be able to say what they want, but we human beings are there to speak for them. And also, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk on this topic. The role voluntarily for us, and we really need to give them the due recognition for helping us in that regard. Okay, according to a source, 73% of people surveyed in Ethiopia use animals for agricultural activities. This was a study carried out in a certain part of that country. So animals are very useful. In 2019, we've seen that about 777 animals in that region were provided with veterinary care. So also emphasize why we need to care for them as well. We talk about SDG 3, which says good health and well-being. So working animals enable families and individuals to earn a living, which in turn pay for medicine, hospital treatments that they may need. So when we keep animals, they generate income for us. The income they generate we use for other things. All right. Some of us are parents, are farmers, are livestock farmers, are able to sell animals, want to go to school, they're able to call one of their animals, sell it, and then to pay school fees. If there are challenges in the hospital, medical challenges, these animals help them to meet some of these needs. If there's a little need to buy a bag of rice at home and things like that, sometimes these animals are already ready-made source of income for such purposes. What about quality education, SDG 4? Just like I said, some of these animals, chicken, you've seen people easily grab their chickens, the backyard chickens, they take it to the nearest lumos, and they sell it to make sure they are able to send their children or their wards to schools. Animals are very important to us, and they help us to fulfill, they play good, important role in meeting the goals of SDG. What about gender equality, SDG 5? We've seen that most of our farmers are women in the rural communities, raise chicken, they raise livestock, small ruminants, which they can easily get and sell. And then when you get money, it gives them more recognition in their communities. So it capacitates them, it makes sure that they have means of living. Also, we talk about clean water and sanitation, that's SDG 6. We've seen people in rural communities, they use carts and donkeys and then to fetch water. You go to fetch water from streams, from boreholes and things like that, and they load them on the carts driven by donkeys or horses. So this helps women a lot and reduces their household routines or costs. And by that, they have time to take care of their children, to do other things. So animals are very important to meeting the SDGs. I also talk about climate action. Okay, it's often debated that animals contribute to climate change in terms of gases, they release greenhouse gases and things like that. But at the same time, animals also are mitigators because they also work to there are some things that are not edible to human beings and then constitute pollutants to the environment, but are also converted for feed, to feed for animals. So animals are also very useful in this regard, okay? And so they also help us to mitigate climate change and to adapt to some of these changes that we've seen in our environment. So as I conclude this, we've seen that animals have played major roles from historical records, and up to date, they still continue to play active roles. So as you commence your annual general meeting and congress, and I believe you will have time today to review and work on your goals, to reflect on what you have done, what you need to do moving forward. I encourage you that you take into action what we have been discussing and that hold your roles very well as you move forward from that. I want to leave you with a word which says education for sustainable development. And this word takes a holistic and realistic approach to learning by linking ecological, social, and economic aspects of our daily lives. So as we advocate for animal welfare, let's bear in mind their roles in our ecology, their roles in our societies, and then the economic aspects, how they generate income for us. Okay, and let's be cognizant of the knowledge of environmental challenges and ability to promote sustainable development by fostering holistic, critical, and independent thinking. Okay, as you implement your activities, do it strategically and critically, and gather your momentum to formulate and solve problems and the ability to participate in advocacy systems and take responsibility for the well-being of our planet. So when we do this, your welfare approach, your sensitization, your advocacy, let it be on the basis of one welfare. Consider the welfare of animals as we consider the welfare of human beings, at the same time, the welfare of our planet. By this, we'll be able to achieve the sustainable development goals through the animals. This principle will also help us to understand every aspect of it. And I wish you the very best as you launch into the new year of activities. And may the Lord continue to be with you. And we want to commend your efforts once again, and then that of the advisor, Dr. Kebadafe, for the impact that you are taking and the roles that you are doing in the Gambia. I wish you more success in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Its assessment on livestock farms and during transport and slaughter. In addition to the 5 freedoms, animal welfare also consists of 4 requirements which must be met in order to ensure welfare. These include ethical requirement, legal requirement, performance requirement, and market requirement. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure the successful achievement and implementation of the 5 freedoms, and the 4 requirements, among others, the Department of Livestock Services keenly provides on a daily basis farmer advisory services such as good housing, good feeding, good health, and explains the need to allow animals express their normal behaviors through its extension service countrywide. Furthermore, the Department of Livestock Services has drafted a new animal health bill in 2019, which fully captured animal welfare. The bill is currently at the National Assembly waiting for enactment. It is anticipated that the bill that the enactment of the bill will give us the legal weight to agree or disagree with the way animals are treated in this country. Relying on the legal weight provided for in the new animal health bill, we can collectively endeavor to address the already deteriorated animal welfare conditions in the country. This includes the use of horses and donkeys in the transportation of goods in the urban and peri-urban areas, between villages and the lumos, and the transportation of live animals on vehicles they call taxi bagas and gele-gele. These are common scenes that we see on a daily basis. The animals are being transported all the way from Sare Bojo to the central abattoir here. Like sheep and goats, they are not even given the opportunity to stretch up. They are denied the right to stand up from Sare Bojo to Abuku. So those are the kind of mistreatments that the legal weight that we are about to get will help us, to address. And we address it with confidence because we know by then the law is behind us. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the importance of welfare as a tool for sensitization cannot be overemphasized. Animals play a pivotal role in the socio-economic and socio-cultural advancement of our society. Socio-culturally, animals are reared and sold to purchase food, pay school fees, medical bills, and transport. Socio-culturally, animals are slaughtered during religious and cultural functions, such as marriage and naming ceremonies, Tobaski, and Korite, among others. All these benefits would not have been achieved from animals without the prudent application of some form of animal welfare practices. And that is what makes animal welfare a relevant tool for advocacy. So if any one of you is out there to talk to people about animal welfare, you are actually being backed by genuine reason. You have a strong case to present because nobody wants, to have animals that are not productive. And welfare is all about production and productivity. Health, the enhancement of production and productivity. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the significance of animal welfare as a sensitization tool has both national and international dimensions. Animal welfare increases international trade opportunities, reduce diseases, injuries, and treatment costs, increase revenue, slice profit, avoid cruelty and reduce animal suffering, make animals safer and easier to handle, produces stronger and healthier animals, promote food safety, improve human health, and minimize the incidence of zoonosis. With proper animal welfare, all these things will never reach us. And in fact, if you know what it means actually, which I am convinced you know, that animal welfare is not out to create suffering, but in fact to remove it entirely from the head or from animals. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, given the strategic importance of animal welfare in the livestock sector and its potentials to promote and enhance incomes, food security, and livelihoods, the Department of Livestock Services is poised to develop the necessary strategies in order to effectively promote animal welfare in the country and increase opportunities for marketing and trade of high-quality animal products to meet the demand of the domestic market. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in view of the above-mentioned reasons, the Department of Livestock Services is keenly interested in collaborating with relevant partners like your advocacy group, Horse and Donkey Trust, Gambia'S, to address the core issues that constrain animal welfare through its open-door policy to new possibilities to increase animal production and productivity using enhanced welfare practices. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to end with these few observations. that it is important at this stage to recognize the tremendous potentials of animal welfare to contribute to food security and nutrition, human and livestock health, and environmental health. Last but not the least, please once again be assured of the Department of Livestock Services' commitment to working with all relevant partners, and in particular, the Animal Welfare Advocacy Association, the Gambia, in whatever way possible, to establish a strong foundation for the development of animal welfare in the country. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bande, for that wonderful deliberation on the topic importance of sensitization in welfare. I think he has given us good news that the Department of Livestock Studies is always behind us. And that is very true, because always, whenever we knock on their doors, they are always ready to open as far as our activities are concerned. So, Mr. Bande, we thank you so very much for coming, and then we thank the entire Directorate of Livestock Service for the support from since onset up till today, and we hope that the support is going to keep moving from strength to strength. Now we move to the drama team. The drama team will give us a short entertainment on animal welfare.
Champion. Ngo nana jang yo ikamunta ko imange korda atidi. Jinga saka haru bobu non ak sa bey bobu non mu ngi ñew suma kër mu ngi yaxa suma banana soko reyut ñi lekko man dina ko rey bo mo ko rey de xam nga luma indi gis nga am naka lu dem school sax ci bey bobu non mo tax muy jangi tek wa bu lo dina malo ñi lekk ci kër gi nga suma domb su damé tanka bi di ko rey suma dom bi dina ko jam dina ko dor et ba mu dama tanka rey mako tay rey mako suma mbam bi du dee nango daw gis nga kaani guwana la jenna ma def ko suma podom bi ci nga mbam bi su yuku ye suma ko rof ci taat ya fa daw yow do reza bey padu li yalla waxon ci mo bi baxut ko suma mo bi baxut ki mo bi baxut waxon na la ko dañu nekk le tawol la ñu ñu def li mu ñangumo ama bali do mo rola bi anen ke nabi afa wa hala dina jaay agriculture ñew neen tay di degal ñu gënam ci bandabal ni mo tax ñepp dekk ñepp wax ne la champion fama yo sama bi baaxu kenn la dé nango dekk yow wa wara déglu mo wax bay ma ko rek muus bi sa yaay mu wax sa muus bi dafa lekk seen ñew bi tay yes that's what she was complaining dama wax sa mu reuy sa muus hey reuy te wax na ko gay waaye gis nga agriculture yooyu noonu ñu ne na nit yi ñi bàyyi lambaas ci muus nañ ñu bàyyi di téye xar yi buñ xiif nañ lekka ñu naan moo tax seen yaram mu nice su gaa yi ñi amee feebar bu ndaw ñu yóbbu leen si docteur yi ma su ma am ne mbaam dañ ko yóbbu si docteur lambaas rek man suma mbaam damay jël guwaana ma luxus ko man sa ma bëggoon a jóg tey suñ classe docteur lu waxo foofu docteur mu ne affaire yi feebar yi ni nañ dee fexe ñi oo vétérinaire sa docteur Hari ñi ñëw si teel balaa mu ngi romb su ngeen gisee rek mu star rek ngeen oo leen xam nga waaw kay suma doom yo xam nga man tey dama jàng maa ngi dem ñi bi musu bi waaw yaay bu ko mu lekka mu naan su musu bi feebar sa yóbbu ko
lekk bu may lekk nii boobu laa ko jox.
su muus bu feebar sax yóbbu ko lopitaan yow joxul muus bi mu lekk moo tax mu sàcc sa jën ah sa muus dara lekkul man xaaral ma lekk si kër bi waaw kay li gën a soos bi muusu bi lekkul
because I was made to believe that the donkey does not need water during rainy season. All right, and I know most of us are victims of those things because we did not know. So we need to tell them to know. All right. So under the aegis of internal support, advocates supporting their own advocacy, the Executive Council initiated a one-week pledging campaign. A one-week pledge campaign. This was open to all and sundry, and no amount was taken for granted. Advocates responded based on their respective financial muscles, and our venerable father, Dr. Buba Baji, tripled the amount that was pledged by the advocates after his initial promise that he will double the amount, any amount collected. We started this initiative because we know we are in a democratic situation. COVID-19 has stretched all economies, so monies are not forthcoming, and we needed to see how committed our members are. We launched this initiative for a week. People were pledging, and then Dr. Buba Baji, our father, promised any amount that the advocates contribute, he will triple it. Let's say, for example, if the advocates contribute 1 million, Dr. Buba Baji will give us another additional million. And then the collection was done, and he doubled the amount. Instead of doubling the amount, he tripled it, because to him it was too small. All right? I think that was a great initiative, and we thank all advocates who responded to that call. Finally, on the activities, it is noble to say thank you to the people who stand by you whenever you need them. In just our little way of appreciating the efforts of our able father, Dr. Buba Baji, for his unflinching support, the Animal Welfare Advocate Association paid a surprise visit to his farm in Jambanjeli to rescue it from the last debris of the land rainy season. On October 26, 2021, the association organized a massive clearing exercise at Dr. Buba Baji's farm, just to say thank you for him for what he is doing for the Gambia and what he is doing for the Animal Welfare Advocates Association. That activity was done on the 26th October 2021. Well, those are the activities that we did in the course of from June to December. On the challenges, yes, the above achievements, no matter how enticing they are, were not in any way registered on a free ride without being marred by very deterring challenges at some point. Some points we get discouraged, some points we feel that we are not moving because of challenges. But that is it, that is what makes life interesting. Like any other association, Animal Welfare Advocacy Association 2 of the Gambia has its own issues during the period under review. We had very difficult issues. We were faced with issues that could have even halted everything, but then we kept moving and we moved. This is why today we proudly stand here and deliver the above activities to you within this short period. On the challenges, the dwindling participation of members in Animal Welfare Advocate Association activities is seriously hampering the progress at the association in some important activities. So be frank, when we call the advocates sometimes, only few will respond. This is a clear manifestation for an association that is boasting of 700 advocates across the Gambia. We cannot even have 100 advocates for this activity. And this is what keeps repeating in almost all our activities. I think members have to come up again. The clutches of the global pandemic in the name of the novel coronavirus, COVID-19 did not leave any house untouched. Whether it infects you directly or whether it infects you economically, it is COVID-19, it is a global problem. And Animal Welfare Advocate Association was not spared in this. It did not leave us unsurveyed. Since this council took over, it has been battling with series of issues posed by COVID-19. The association in most cases had to reduce the number of participants for certain events, just to make sure that everything is done with due respect to COVID-19 guidelines. Yes, we have to reduce. Sometimes we need 50 advocates for an activity, but due to COVID-19 regulations, we have to only go for 25 advocates. That is not good for our advocates' message. All right? And then The lack of enough legal instrument to facilitate the smooth running of the day-to-day activity of the association is also another great challenge. We do not have the sufficient legal tools since we took power. Like Dr. has alluded before, the legal tussle or whatsoever, the constitutional tussle that happened between the current executive and the past executive was all due to lack of the legal instrument that should guide the operation of the association. This is why we established, or the executive in collaboration with the coordinating body established a constitutional review commission to ensure that we have a document that will be able to stand the test of time.
Sidi, Head of School of Agriculture, Gambia College, Mr. Dumbia, President of the Animal Welfare Advocates Association, Francis Mendy, the former President of the Association, Batu Balde, representative of the Regional Directorate of Livestock Services in West Coast Region, members of the Animal Welfare Advocates Association, our partners in the press, all protocols duly and respectfully observed. Today, indeed, is a great day for animal welfare advocacy in the Gambia. I would just want to take us a little bit back to the year 2015, when the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust invited a German group to the Gambia to conduct a training for students of the University of the Gambia and Gambia College. The German group is called WTS Vets United. In that training, students from the college and university were trained on animal welfare. I was one of the trainers at that training workshop that was held at Sambel Kunda in Nyamina, Central River Region South. During the training, discussion started amongst the students that they need this animal welfare course to be part of their education at both college and the University of the Gambia. People like Mr. Jobate, Mr. Mane, Mr. Basiru Jata, Mr. Abdullah Sise were very, very active in propagating that they need this animal welfare education in the country at our tertiary level. The German group, Vets United, welcomed the idea and discussed it with their partners in Berlin. That time, I was working for the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations as a livestock expert consultant. I was approached by Vets United about being their partner in the country to help in bringing animal welfare education to the tertiary institution. I took up the challenge and agreed to serve as their coordinator for the activities in the Gambia. We started the programs at the University of the Gambia in 2016. We thank Dr. Seni Keita, who was pivotal in bringing it to the University of the Gambia. At that time at the university, what we had there was animal health. Through the help of Dr. Seni Keita, the management of the university agreed to put elements of animal welfare in the animal health course. It became an animal health and welfare course. Curriculum was developed and approved, and we started using it. Actually, we started with only about 14 students at UTG in the first year. One of the 14 students who were there today is sitting among you. Batu, a senior person in Department of Livestock Services, is one of the 14 students that were part of that batch. Mr. Abdullah Sise, who is an animal welfare lecturer at Cottington University in Liberia, is one of my 14 students. Mr. Basiru Jata, the head of poultry unit at the Department of Livestock Service, is among the 14 students. And a lot of senior people in the livestock department are among that crew. Mr. Balde, you saw here, graduated in Nigeria, but he came here for his master's degree practical on animal welfare. I worked with him at the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust. So we started with 14 that year. We started the same year with Gambia College. Thanks to the initiative of Mr. Jallo, it was not put in the curriculum that time, but they gave us way to put it as an open course so that any student who is interested in the course can enter. We started registering students for the course. About 60 students took the course, and eventually at the university, we used to get more than 100 students in our courses for each single semester, more than 100 students, and even we cannot handle that. In fact, there was a time at UTG we were limiting the number of intakes for my course of animal welfare. So we saw that as a big momentum. Today, you have more than 1,000 people in the Gambia, stationed in all the regions across the country, who are trained on animal welfare, who are competent in animal welfare, some of whom are very active animal welfare advocates. So animal welfare is now in a vantage position in this country. We stand in a vantage position to make the Gambia a shining example of animal welfare for the rest of the West Africa region. I remember during the time of the Constitutional Review Commission, there was actually one meeting held in Birikama, the last meeting of the Constitutional Review Commission, which I attended in Birikama. I also attended some of their other meetings, like the one in Bakau. I made a statement there, and the chairperson of the commission, Justice Suleiman Jallo, mentioned that everywhere they moved in this country, in every region of the country, young people were there telling them that they want to see animal welfare in the constitution of the Gambia. So that's a lot of progress in terms of the way animal welfare has moved in the country. People like Usman Bajo sitting here met them in Basse and spoke. Others were in Farafenye that day. Unfortunately, they did not do the meeting in Farafenye. But when they moved to Kaur for a meeting, there were advocates there who spoke. Some farmers even spoke at that meeting, advocating for the welfare of animals to be included in the constitution of the Gambia. We were very happy. Disappointed first when the first draft came out, we did not see animal welfare. And then, but they said there is second round of consultations, etc. And after the second round of consultations, a draft constitution came out. Actually, in the draft constitution, section 14 of the constitution clearly mentioned animal welfare in an explicit way. So that puts the Gambia among the few countries in Africa where animal welfare was explicitly mentioned in the constitution. That's a very big victory for animal welfare advocacy in this country. That did not come by accident. It came as a result of hard work and consistency. I would also want to thank Mr. Sedi here. He is dynamic for animal welfare. He made sure, together with Mr. Jaro, that animal welfare is now part of the curriculum for the certificate in animal health and production, and also for the diploma course in animal health and production. That is a very big victory. Today, the Gambia College is the bastion of animal welfare in the Gambia. We started with the university, but unfortunately, for the University of the Gambia, our partnership did not move to the way we anticipated. Our anticipation is that animal welfare will be officially part of the curriculum of the university. To some of us, it is the case because students who have graduated over the last 5 years have done the animal welfare course and it is still in the curriculum, but there is no documentation written anywhere that animal welfare is part of the courses being taught at the UTG. So I have discontinued my teaching of animal welfare at the UTG, but my services are always available to the students and even to any lecturer that would need me as a visiting lecturer to put my inputs to make sure that the gains we make are consolidated. I am the West Africa representative of WTS Vets United. My role in that capacity is to make sure that I support and facilitate animal welfare education in tertiary institutions in West Africa. I was at the Africa Animal Welfare Conference that took place in Accra, Ghana, interacted with heads of universities and institutions in West Africa and had the opportunity to talk to them about animal welfare, and indeed animal welfare is taking momentum in West Africa. One of the universities is planning to start this year a master's degree program in animal welfare, and we anticipate that graduates from the University of the Gambia will have the opportunity to go and specialize in the area of animal welfare. We also want to talk about the Animal Welfare Advocates Association, initiated by Mr. Jobate and Mr. Mane as the founding fathers. I was approached even at that very early stage of the formation of the association to serve as the advisor. The association started slowly but gained momentum, but it had an impasse somehow that slowed down the activities of the association. The executive that was in the association has opened new ways for animal welfare advocacy. It was during the time of the past executive that community animal welfare groups were formed and even animal welfare schools were established around the country. Mr. Dumbia here took ascent to the presidency at a time of crisis coupled with the COVID-19. But that notwithstanding, he has done tremendously well with his group, I mean the group in the executive. Because of that reason, for the first time in animal welfare, the prize for the Animal Welfare Advocate of the Year was given to two people, one person being a current president and a student. We never give that prize to students. The prize is not for students. It's for people who have completed their studies, either college or university, and out there contributing significantly to animal welfare in the country. But Mr. Dumbia did so well that we had to give him this prize, even he is a student. So that's a big show of commendation. Sitting in the crowd here is a winner of that prize, and in fact, two winners. The first winner of the prize is Mr. Usman Bajo. Sitting here, Usman in red, show yourself. He did so well for animal welfare. Usman is the one who actually spread animal welfare to some countries like parts of the country like URR. So Lamin Sise here is the co-winner with Dumbuya. Lamin did so well for animal welfare, also in CRR in Kudang. These are exemplary people who have done very well. Usually people talk about Dr. Dafe, but it is not about me. It's about these ones. Finally, I want to say a big thank you to Dr. Buba Baji. He's my friend, a schoolmate at Gambia High School, and also a university colleague. We studied in the Ukraine together. When we completed, I came back to the Gambia and he went to Sweden. Dr. Baji is the father of the Animal Welfare Advocates Association. Dr. Buba Baji has done more for animal welfare than any other Gambian. I cannot thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our able advisor, for that wonderful history. You know, history is always very important to remember. Whenever you remember the past, you always know the direction to take. This association started a long time ago. From the formative years, Doctor has always been there, and he is still there. And then he will still be with us even tomorrow, even when we are no more there. He will still be with those that will be coming to take over. Because animal welfare is always part of him. That is why because when you love what you are doing, you are always doing it your best way. Thank you so very much, Doctor, for your services to animal welfare. They are well recognized, and we are always very grateful.